Of all the creatures that emerge at nightfall, one little squirrel has a very special way of getting about. Folded away out of sight is its secret. A personal parachute. Shortly after dusk in North America, tiny flying squirrels venture out of the tree holes where they've spent the day. The southern flying squirrel is small enough to fit on a human hand and built to glide on the air. It's one of the few mammals able to do this, using a simple design which has opened up a world of new opportunities. Why scamper up and down trees when there's a shortcut? When flying squirrels took to the air, they gained a freedom which allows them to spend more time feeding. Broad skin flaps, which stretch from wrists to ankles, form simple wings. Because they can cruise so far and so fast, flying squirrels can forage over a far greater range than many other squirrels. The skin flaps don't seem to get in the way when not in use. Excellent night vision helps them find their way. It's spring in North America's Appalachian Mountains. Although flying squirrels exist in most states, this is the heart of their homeland. As winter shrinks away, the temperature creeps up, gently teasing open the buds. Soon, the valleys sparkle with life. It's warm enough, too, for hummingbirds to return from the south. With specially designed feeders, people welcome back the forest creatures to their gardens. Professor Van Flyger, a retired biologist, has been enticing flying squirrels into his garden for the past 20 years by putting sunflower seeds onto a raised platform at dusk. Most people in these parts have no idea that there could be flying squirrels in their own backyards. Once the sun has set, it's just a matter of time before the guests nosedive down from the canopy like furry shooting stars. This is one food source which never dries up. Professor Flyger's personal live show has begun. Strangely, the spotlights don't seem to bother the squirrels, possibly because daytime predators won't be around now anyway. Flying squirrels are sociable mammals, and whole families arrive together. They're known locally as flyers or fairy diddles.
It's surprising how close you can get to these little fellows. We're only about 10 feet from them and not bothering them a bit. Sometimes we can see up to 8 or 9 at one time, but there are probably twice as many here. when they glide in, they come from quite a height and zoom in at a fast speed and land on the tree trunk and run up and down. There's a lot of activity with them.
And the odd squabble, too. It's not only in America that flying squirrels have worked their magic on earthbound humans. Japan, where the sun is about to set on the last day of the year. Buddhist monks begin their New Year's celebration. Exploring the tops of the temples, huge flying squirrels the size of cats pause to glance at the proceedings. Asia has more flying squirrels than anywhere else in the world. These are among the biggest, Japanese giant flying squirrels. They're superb aviators, swooping over 100 meters at a time and steering with great precision by using their legs. Here, too, the night riders have captured people's imagination. Even the monks are spellbound by the ghostly figures. Hiraoka Nobuo is particularly keen to snap one in midair. Japanese flying squirrels feed mostly on plants. Squirrels, like all rodents, have special chisel-like teeth to get at the flesh inside. Reaching out with highly dexterous paws, they can grasp the less accessible fruits. They can also clutch slender twigs in order to suck out the sugary sap. A female streaks back to her nest. For a few hours only, twice a year, she's ready to mate. One of those nights is tonight. A male makes his move, eager to take this rare chance to father some young. But she's not ready yet, and won't tolerate him until she is. A second suitor pushes his luck and stamps in frustration. Other males wait hopefully by. Their serenades are ignored. Then, in her own time, she comes out, causing a flurry of excitement. To give her babies a chance of having the best father, the female will mate with all the males here, starting with this one. To increase his own chances, he seals in his sperm with a wax plug, which will promptly be removed and replaced by subsequent males. Back in North America, the summer is at its height. 3 black bear cubs suckle and scrap. They too are surprisingly agile climbers. Nest holes drilled out by woodpeckers are often taken over by squatters, including flying squirrels, once the birds have gone. With her babies safe inside, a female sets off to feed. The thumb-sized pups are a week old. They won't leave the nursery for another 5 weeks. They're hairless and blind, but the loose skin flap, with which they will soon hitch a lift on the air, is already well developed. Before long, the mother returns. When she's with her pups, she keeps them warm by using her own skin flap like an electric blanket. She gives them a thorough wash and then carefully tucks them back in. Another squirrel searches for an empty hole, but is soon shooed off. A few simple features have helped the flying squirrels make a mockery of gravity. They fling themselves into the void with one powerful kick. Once airborne, they spread eagle out wide to stretch open the skin flap into an aerofoil. The long, flat tail helps with balance. Cartilage on the wrists adds extra width at the front. This may have been how bats first started flying. Ramona Casada, too, has fallen for the winsome sprites.
On top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow, I lost my true lover, a courting too slow. Hi there. Come get a peanut. Hurry up. That's good. Come on down the tree. Come on. Come on down. Hi there. How you doing? Good. Okay. I whistle for them at night because there may be one or two here, but if I want more to come in, I just whistle and they come. And so every time I come out, if there's a couple, I'll give a whistle and they come on in. Lately, this summer, I've had a lot of friends over, and I have a waiting list of people wanting to come and see them. Once the word is out, then people really want to come. And they've never seen it before. They didn't know that they existed before. And the squirrels themselves enjoy the attention. The more people, the more they glide and fly. And the more they come just to say hi. They don't even always eat. And they seem to like to chase each other up and down the tree and just kind of show off for everybody.
Back at the nest, the youngsters are 3 weeks old and starting to make a racket. They're covered in soft fur and their eyes have opened. But they're in grave danger. For outside, a nest-raiding black rat snake is silently inching towards their hole. time to evacuate. The female quickly parcels up her pups and moves them out, but can only cope with one at a time. She knows exactly where the vacant holes are because female flying squirrels regularly decamp when the fleas in the nest become unbearable. But this time, it's a life-threatening emergency, not a matter of mere comfort. If her pups were smaller, she'd take the fast track and glide with them. But this well-fed cargo must be shifted overland. She makes quite sure that the snake has gone. Sam Carney is studying the flying squirrel's eating habits. To make life a bit easier for himself, he's rigged up his feeder to announce their arrival. The table is balanced on springs. The first flying squirrel to land on it will trigger a bell in Sam's house. Meanwhile, he relaxes and bides his time. The alarm won't sound until its feet are firmly on the platform. Once the flying squirrels have discovered a reliable food source, it becomes a regular stop-off on their nightly rounds.
Well, at the moment, I'm just gathering arrival times. They're coming probably on the average of about a half hour after sunset.
The dim light helps to conceal them from predators. The spread also attracts nighttime scavengers. This evening, a raccoon. At 6 weeks, the pups start to explore their patch, but haven't yet flown. They must learn to find their own food, such as dogwood seeds. They must also work out where the local bolt holes are, in case of trouble. Screech owls are one of their biggest predators. This young one flies for its life, unaware that it is at its most vulnerable in mid-air, but comes safely in to land. The screech owl's chicks, snug in another old woodpecker's hole, must also eat. A dragonfly will have to do for the time being. Some flying squirrels settle in homes which are still occupied. The Oldham family won't be evicting the squirrels in their shed. Instead, they'll all file up at dusk to watch.
Warm in here tonight. Good thing it's cold outside and warm in.
Somewhere high up in the attic, their lodgers are stirring.
I think I hear one now. We found a dead mother and 4 babies wandering around inside the shed. So we raised the little ones. She did most of the work, and then they just stayed. Now they live in our attic.
Well, at one time there was 15 of them, and then they come down and eat the sunflower seed we put out for them.
We have an old chair that they've removed the stuffing in and taken it back to their little nest. But we prefer them in our shed than in the house. We're afraid if we kick them out of here, they'll move into the house.
The squirrels come and go through a hole originally made for electric cables.
Well, they're a lot of fun to watch, but there's only so much watching you can take along with the destruction that they've caused, but they're a lot of fun to watch. They're always crazy.
But some human nooks and crannies have no escape, and flying squirrels often need help getting out. Velvet and Teddy Kitzmuller are part-time animal rescuers.
People have found they think it's a squirrel or flying squirrel in their clothes dryer. We're going to try to get them out of there and make sure they're healthy and get them back into the wild.
So what do you think it's most likely to be?
Pretty sure it's a flying squirrel. You said you've been hearing it at night?
Yeah, mostly at night.
Chimneys and air outlets can be deadly traps, even though they may look like great places to nest.
Yep, it's a flying squirrel.
Well, there's what your problem was.
Oh, my.
And we'll take him back and give him a little checkup, see how he's doing.
Babies orphaned through road accidents or tree felling are raised on a special milk formula until they're old enough to be released. It grasps the teat as it would hold food in the wild. Flying squirrels are enormously popular as pets. In Texas, Curtis Starling deals in flying squirrels. The demand is so great, he supplies up to 3,000 flying squirrels to pet shops and individual customers every year. He uses hundreds of boxes to keep them, ready to be shipped around the world to a life of permanent captivity. It's been Curtis's business for all his working life.
I started dealing in flying squirrels in 1957, and I have great respect and admiration for them because well, they've made me a living for all these years, for one thing.
In many states, it's illegal to trap and sell wild flying squirrels, but here in Texas, it's all right as long as you have a license to do so. Curtis Starling is a licensed dealer. Every year, he ships his 3,000 flying squirrels in boxes of 100 to Japan, Europe, South America, and other American states where it's legal to do so. In New England, the leaves are starting to fall. Autumn brings a rich harvest of food. Once the day dwellers have turned in for the night, the flying squirrels are free to go where they please. They play a crucial part in woodland management by spreading hundreds of seeds throughout huge areas of the forest as they travel. Unlike many animals which gorge in preparation for winter, flying squirrels can't lay down too much fat. If they did, they would be too heavy to glide. Instead, they store surplus food in underground larders to be raided later when food is scarce. This is the time when the gliders are most likely to be seen on the forest floor, busily burying for the future. They also dig for truffles, a fungus which provides essential nutrients to the trees. Without the squirrels to help scatter the spores, the forest could slowly die. Although the flying squirrels remain active during the cold weather, they share nests until winter is over, keeping warm by snuggling close together in groups of up to 20. For now, their wings are folded away. But when the dying light signals the start of their day, the night's secret flyers will, once again, take off through the shadows.
More classic clips from the archives next tonight on BBC One in Paul Merton's Life of Comedy.